Hi, it's Ileana, and today I'm just going to talk about trust and being careful who we trust and who we tell things. So, the most sweetest people in the world, the most kindest people in the world that you can connect with, who we think are our friends or your friends, even with those people, we should be careful. Honestly, what we share and what we trust into with people. If you're sending text, if you're sending messages, exchanging ideas, just be careful what you share with people. You never know who the piranhas are in your fish tank, unfortunately. This is something I've just recently encountered, publicly and personally. So I'm just saying, you never know who are the piranhas in the fish tank. Literally. Some people are very toxic, very negative, very judgmental towards others, towards experiencers, towards ideas. If something does not fit with their paradigm of thinking and beliefs, they will go on the attack. They will try to expose people by using evidence. So honestly, if you have ideas, if you have experiences, if you have memories of something, if you're sharing it publicly, also put that this is your legal information and it's not to be misused inappropriately without your permission. Because a lot of channels on various social media platforms, what they're doing is they're illegally downloading other people's video content and reposting it left and right. So put a legal disclaimer that this is your original work and it's not to be downloaded without your permission, and it's illegal to do that. Put a copyright stamp on the bottom in the video description. Honestly, don't send your thoughts and ideas to other people. And if you're sending something to someone, say, this is in private context, it's not to be shared with others, it's not to be published anywhere without my permission. Honestly, just say so. If you don't want your content shared anywhere outside of the private conversations, say that, because you never know how information will be used against you. Hence the phrasing, piranhas in your fish tank. I've just been watching Wednesday. It's a new show on a popular streaming platform. It's the Addams Family. It's the new version of Wednesday. And Wednesday is a 16-year-old girl who goes to a private boarding school called Nevermore for outcasts, or the others, the different ones with psychic and paranormal supernatural abilities, werewolves, vampires, telekinetics, seers. She's a seer. She's getting visions of what's going to happen, or what happened in the past when she touches objects. That's called psychometry. So she is one of those people that is very careful with expressing her emotions and not getting too close to people. She keeps her private thoughts to herself. Her ideas she puts in books that she privately writes, and she's very internal in her expressionism and creativity. She explores her creativity within herself and does not give a lot of people information about what she's doing, planning, or will do. She does not imprint on others emotionally. I'm a lot like Wednesday, but in a way I'm also a very trusting person, but I have become cynical because, again, careful what you wish for, you just might get it. Yeah, that's real too. Who you trust, who you share things with, just be careful. I've learned this myself because sometimes friends send me questions, and I literally connect to Source Creator, and Source Creator gives the answers to the questions, and I get so excited. I've done this myself a few times. I've published the answers that Source Creator has given to the questions. But sometimes people will tell you, that's private. Why did you do that? I didn't expect you to do this. Come on. Boundaries. Come on. And I respect that very much. I am all about sharing what answers Source Creator gives through channeling, intuitive channeling. But sometimes, you know what? We need to respect the other person's request. Seriously. If they ask you to keep it private, keep it private. Don't share the details of your conversations with others. Boundaries, privacy, respect is so important. And if I have questions for Source Creator, my own questions, and there's channeling about this with answers, if it's appropriate, I'll post it publicly. If it's not, I won't. Even I am starting to understand with channeling that there is some ground rules here. And I've channeled for many years, but I've channeled privately. I haven't really made anything public because I'm trying to have a balance in my life with these abilities. And again, boy, there's a lot happening in these communities right now. Names are being called out. Things are being said about people. I'm finding this toxic. I'm going to expose your name. I'm going to tell what you really do because you're doing this, this, and that. I guess if those people have a calling for justice and to release the truth, so be it. Please do it. Whatever you do is on you, though, and the energy that comes back with that. It's taking personal responsibility for what we do. Our actions are our own. What we choose to do is what we choose to do. If those people feel called to those actions, that's something that's part of their journeys. I'm not going to say no, don't do it, because honestly, even I have said what's going on in these communities and mentioned some names because it's getting outlandishly ridiculous with the PSYOP schemes and the agendas that are happening. If it's dangerous and it's hurting others, I will call it out for what it is. And I guess some people will go even further than that because they feel that justice needs to be served and that they need to do more than what I did. That's fine. Integrity, balance, that's important. It's very important. Whatever you need to do to balance your own life and your own energy and your own form of justice system, that's on you, though. That will not and does not reflect on me, or nor will it. I will always be my own person with my own values, my own judgment, and my own system of thinking. I just don't want to go beyond the boundaries of jumping down the rabbit hole where it's being too far gone, honestly. I don't want to be going after people. I don't want to be bitter or vindictive or regret what I did down the road. I don't want to have regrets. Right now, I have zero regrets about what I've already said, and I've meant what I've said. I'm not going to change my mind about any of the people that I have mentioned publicly because they are on a path of destruction and danger and leading these communities down the path of danger and sometimes even ruination because they're misdirecting people down dark paths, the journeys of darkness. And I'm saying it, this time it is darkness. Usually I take a stance on, I don't really get into the spectrums of good and evil, dark and light. I don't really love those labels, don't like those labels. But things are going down very seriously dangerous paths at this moment. people taking each other's information, people stealing stories, copycatting stuff. It's so prevalent. So at this point, just be careful with your information, who you trust, who you give it out to. Don't give it out to anybody, really. And if you're collaborating with someone, if you're sharing ideas with friends, if you want your ideas to stay private, just say so. This is private information only. It's not for you to publish it anywhere else. The people who are your true friends will understand this. They'll feel the same way. So that's fine if you say that in conversations or emails. There's nothing wrong with that. It's stating good boundaries of what your comfort zone is with something. And it lets the other person know that this needs to stay private, no matter what. And that these ideas are yours. Whatever you're sharing, it's for not for to be copied or not to be used in any other way. It's just ideas that you're sharing together and exchanging ideas. It's about trust. It's about open communication. And if something does happen and something was misunderstood, misconstrued, talk about it. Really discuss it together so you don't have any hurt feelings in the future. You understand each other, and what you say is what you say, and what you mean is what you mean. So there's no room for misinterpretation of how things are with you and the other person who you're sharing things with. Again, I'm going to be even more careful what I share with others, and my private texts, my private phone calls, conversations. Something was made public that I did not really agree to. So I will be more careful, and I guess the Wednesday Adam's attitude is work with your own self, trust your own self, and really understand who you are and what you're sharing with others. Be careful, because emotions, feelings, thoughts, ideas, that's something that's very sacred and intuitive to us as beings. And it's part of respecting that and understanding that and really loving and caring for ourselves. And if there's people in the world that are acting like idiots and doing something they're not supposed to, again, that's stuff for them to figure out why they're doing that and why they're going down dangerous paths in life. It is, again, self-choice, self-will, the choice to make choices, free will choice that exists on this planet. And nothing can bypass that, derail it, stop it. Even our spirit guides cannot stop us from doing something if we really want to do it. They cannot intervene and stop us if free will choice has been made to do something and they're dead set on doing it. We can't stop them from doing it. Not the spirit guides, not the angels. Free will choice on this world allows decisions and actions to happen, whether we like it or not. Free will choice. Sovereignty. If a being decides to do something, good or bad, and they go ahead and do it, and it hurts themselves and others, short of destruction of this planet, the extraterrestrials, the spirit guides, the archangels, and the protective teams, they will not intervene to stop free will choice. As long as you're not on the verge of destroying this planet and everything that lives on it, they will not interfere with your personal life choices. No matter how bad it seems, they won't, because it's the choices your free will allows you to make as a living being, whether you learn from this or not. Free will choice. That allows a lot to happen, unfortunately. I wish it didn't, but it is a free will choice. And all we can do is be careful in how we act and what our actions are, because there's always consequences to choices, life choices and actions. There's always results and consequences. I know that because I've made a lot of choices that I now have thought about and said, I wish I never did that because it hurt me and it hurt others in my family. Those were personal choices. Nothing to do with communities, nothing to do with anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. I just made choices that were not for my highest good in what I thought I was supposed to be doing on my life path. Those were my choices that I fixed and rectified. Because you can move somewhere, and if you don't like it, you can fix that. You can sell stuff off, you can sell property, you can sell the land, you can move back, you can get a different place. The choices that I had made were just about things and land. That didn't work out for me or my family. It was not a good fit, so we had to make other life choices to fix what was done, to undo it. Some things can be easily undone, and other things are harder to undo once you've made the choices and done what you've done. Sometimes those choices are very public and out on these communities. Then when you look back at it 2 years later, you're going to say, what the heck was I thinking doing this? Because I sold something to people that was false light and it was not pretty. And there's a few people out there doing this. And they have to live with the choices that they make. Because it's their choices ultimately. All we can do is create our own choices, decisions, timelines, soul pathways, soul connections, soul outcomes. That's up to you how you do it with the energy that you create and manifest, because you're doing it. Don't let anybody else do it for you, because there's powerful, charismatic people out in the world who can affect our energy. They think they're the Alpha Draconians and that they have the power to subjugate you and the power to confront you and control you, to bend you and others to their will. Well, they don't. And they use bullying tactics, they use harassment, they use energetic attacks to go after people. I've experienced this yesterday. So there's an Alpha Draconian channeler. I'm not going to say his name. He's a very mean person, very vindictive, energetically attacks others who don't agree with him. He is nasty and a bully and a vindictive, toxic personality type. That's one of the examples I'm talking about. This guy claims to be an Alpha Draconian Reptilian incarnation and a gifted, powerful channeler. Nice channelers, gifted channelers, they don't go after other people publicly or personally, attacking others. That's the piranha in the fish tank that I'm talking about. This person is toxic. And you'll know him when you hear him and see him. He can't help himself. He just loves to trigger others. And he's trigger happy himself. So this person, watch out. Ouch. Yikes. He is dangerous. Toxic, bullying, mean. The definition of the word troll. He claims to be a nice person, but he's not. Again, out of respect, no name here, but this individual is very loud and proud of their loudness and boistering, that they have abilities, that they can stop you, that they can attack you. They'll call you all kinds of names. And they're friends with many people in the community. You'll know this person by the language and the way they act, and they hide behind the screen. They don't show their face in public. They just write things and act boisterous and boasting about who they are and what they can do. Big talk, loud mouth, not very good energetically at balancing themselves. They accused me of being on psychotic medications and told me to go back to making my dandelion tea. To them, I said, stop being a sick, mentally disbalanced personality. You're mentally ill, is basically what I replied back to them. Again, this is just semantics. honestly. They just have a toxic personality, and there's a lot of people out there who are like that, who are self-grandizing themselves to be the big man on campus, or the girl who has it all and can do it all and is doing it. Those are egotistic personality types, and they're toxic. To that person who's doing this, I'm like, you like to blow your hot air? Go ahead and blow it. It's the last comment I'll ever respond to, because I don't associate with bullies, with people who are egotistical, who are psychopathic. This person is a psychopath. Common textbook bullying tactics, attacking tactics. He named a bunch of psychotic medications. And I don't take that shit. I never did, and I never will, because it makes you act like a frozen zombie who's disconnected from emotions and feeling things. Sometimes people need those medications to actually get a hold of balancing something in their chemical system in the brain. Some people genuinely need those medications not to be psychotic or psychopathic. Some people do. I'm not one of those people, so this person is mentally unhinged that they even suggested I'm on these medications. I'm on to you, alpha draconian, whatever you said you were. That does not mean anything to me. It means zero, nothing to me. So your little attacks, your little inferiority complex, your energetic, whatever you tried to do to me, it's not working, and it won't work. You are just being a mean bully to me and others who you don't like in these communities. Check in within yourself, in your own toxic personality. Work on your own self and deal with your disgusting, despicable ways of how you address others. Deal with that. Deal with your own ego issues, your own nasty personality type. That's the piranha in your fish tank, or the piranhas. So, and I did watch Wednesday, and the first thing that Wednesday did in the first episode, she dumped a bunch of piranhas in the swimming pool because the male swim team attacked her brother. They attacked her brother, tied him up in a locker, and gagged him. So what did Wednesday do? Wednesday got a brand of her own justice by releasing the piranhas in the swimming pool. And the piranhas ate the swim team, ate all the guys. That was Wednesday's form of justice, and I guess retribution. And hence the piranha, or the piranhas in the fish tank. I'm not suggesting anybody use piranhas for anything. Leave the fish alone. They're small fish, but they can do a lot because they have razor teeth. But I told this guy, mind your own business, or the piranhas in your sleep nighttime will be the least of your problems. Piranhas in your bed will be the least of your problems, because he called me the piranha sergeant for mentioning Wednesday Addams in that show. So I'm like, well, don't go after other people. Don't try to scare other people, or the piranhas will be the least of your problems in your own bed and in your nightmares. Because what comes around goes around. You know that saying? Careful what you wish for, you just might get it. The piranha stuff is just a metaphor. If you use dark energy to do dark things to others, that energy will come back onto yourself and pay you 3 times 3 and then some in retribution with dark energy that you use to hurt others. That comes back to you, and that's on you for the actions that you did with bad magic, with death magic. That can happen. It's not the first time I've been attacked with magic or dark energy. And I repelled this and sent it back to that person. And I said, it's going to be on you if you have piranha nightmares in your sleep, because you're being a bad person. Hence the piranha analogy. That's not on me, that's on you for what you do. Just to explain the piranha stuff. Because I'm not going to send piranhas to anybody. I'm not going to sick the piranhas onto anyone. That's mean, that's bad. But it's an analogy. Careful what you wish for, or you just might get it. Careful what you do, because the consequences of your actions will reverberate back to you. What you did to others will reflect back on you in a much worse light. Because karmically, things do come back in a 3D world, and it can hurt us. Balancing karma is not about creating more issues for yourself and others. So you live and you learn. I'm not going to engage with bullies, with stupid conversations that go nowhere. That just wastes energy and time. There's a lot more to do in a day than give this person the time of day who engages in these disgusting exchanges, energetically, physically, and in writing. I'm not going to give him the time of day because he doesn't deserve it. So that's the lesson of this experience. Hey, and it's one of many experiences dealing with toxic people, egotistical people, narcissists, psychopaths, stalkers, and just delusional illusionists who are out to siphon our energy and drain us energetically and physically. This is happening in reality, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but trust yourself, trust your intuition. You know yourself best and who you are in your trust and your honesty. Trust yourself. You are your highest source of the self, the I am. Trust that. Don't let anybody take that power away, energetically or physically. Be you, the person that you're meant to be, the good person that we are and are capable of being, and not engaging in all this Twitter twatter, tap, 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 woom, 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 explosion, explosion. These are these internet things out there. I call it Twitter twatter, tap, 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 wham, wham, wham. All these boobed things that are out there, or the rumbling, the scrambling, the whatever, terminologies for social media stuff. Don't engage in any of that stuff that you don't like to engage in. Keep the energy pure, keep the energy positive, keep the good things going in your life. And don't fall into these rat traps of what's happening. It's not worth the time, honestly, or the energy. It's just manipulation at its worst. So I just thought I'd mention that because I'm encountering it right now with the secret space program stuff, with the woo-woo stuff, with the spiritual communities, the healing stuff, the disclosure stuff. Unfortunately, it's everywhere in all these communities because the same actors are in different scenes of the same communities. It's the cycle. One actor leaves, another actor comes in, and then another guru is put on the high pedestal. It's happened before, and it's been happening now. So the cycle continues. We trust in somebody who we think is great. In the beginning, they're all good, loving, kind. They connect with you, then they dump you the moment you start telling truth of what they're doing and what they're doing wrong. And everybody else can see it. They dump you, they ban you, they blacklist you, and others support them for it. But you know what? That's fine. Sometimes removing yourself from a bad situation is the best thing you can do for yourself. It frees you up to do the things you're meant to do in life. For self-improvement, for teaching, for learning, it frees you up to be your best self by letting go of toxic situations, toxic people, and toxic things in life. Letting go can be the best thing sometimes in life. No matter how attached you were to the person, how much you regret not having that connection anymore, sometimes it's for the best. It frees you up to live your best life. That's fine. I can appreciate that. I've been through it, and I let go of people who are toxic, who are mean, who are bullying, who are interfering with stuff in life. I don't keep those types of relationships going. I don't need to. I don't feel the purpose or the desire to. It's okay to let go sometimes because it frees you up to be your best self and to live your life to the highest possible endeavors that you can. So thank you so much and namaste.